everybody, welcome to Mark Hummel's Harmonica Party, and I'm sitting here with the James Cotton Band. And these fellas have been playing together off and on for at least 20 years, right? Yeah, let me introduce everybody one by one. So we have Cross here is the bass player, and his brother is Mark Mack. So we're gonna say Cross Mack, just for
Charles
the sake.
Mack. Cross.
We're really gonna confuse everybody.
Cross Charles Mack.
Cross Charles Mack.
He's just
That's his name.
Cross Charles Mack. Cross.
And we have Rico McFarland here in the middle.
Cross Rico McFarland.
And we're gonna be everyone's gonna get very cross at the interview. But Rico, you basically got the Mack brothers in the band.
Yeah.
With Cotton. Yeah. And then we have Tom Holland here on, who's one of the two guitar players along with Rico. And basically we have a Chicago blues band.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That started with James in the, would it be late 90s that you guys started?
Yeah.
But you were in the band much earlier.
Much earlier.
Yeah.
50s. Yeah, from I would say from 92 on up, in and out.
92, yeah. And so were you in there like when Cotton started doing the trio thing?
Yeah.
You were in there during
We
that time?
did all of that. All
Right.
the acoustic thing with David Maxwell.
Right, with Dave Maxwell, yeah.
And Daryl Lewis.
Exactly. And Daryl's the only guy we don't have here.
Right.
We couldn't pry him away
We
from
love
the
you,
wing.
Daryl.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did say hello.
Yeah.
I sent him the photo of everybody that said
Okay.
said hello.
Come on now, we know you.
Oh, and I got to mention the late
Mojo Buford?
Mojo Buford.
Mojo Buford, who was a real character.
Oh, yeah.
He was a real character, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And Joe Beard.
and Joe Beard,
Yeah,
my
Joe
good
Beard.
buddy Joe Beard,
Yeah,
and I love
yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
Can't forget the late Joel O'Neill.
No,
Right. Noel Neal, yeah, right. So there's a lot of history on this couch right here. Yeah.
There's a lot of weight to
Fortunately, we have a supersized couch here. Extra good construction.
And we all used to be slim.
You're all slim when you joined the band.
hanging out with James.
We
Made it
were all
like this.
pretty, and
Yeah.
now we're all old and
James
great.
Mackey stopped every 50 miles. Restaurant.
Yeah. So what I wanted to just kind of get with you guys, I mean, one thing I really got from hanging around with all you guys, but this morning at breakfast talking with Mark and Tom was just really, I mean, you guys are like a band of brothers. I mean, that's really how I that's what I get from you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Much so.
You know?
We've been around each other so long.
Yeah. And you all look out for each other.
Yeah.
It's really it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, we get mad at each other sometimes.
Yeah, well, you're like brothers.
Yeah.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so it's really a great thing to just be around you guys and to play with you guys is just such a thrill.
Oh, we having a ball, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm so crazy about James Cotton's music since I was a teenager, and he had just such a huge influence on me just as a player. But then when I got to know him as a person and hearing you guys share stories about James, it's just, he was such a salt of the earth guy. That's what I loved about James.
A lot of history, man.
Yeah, just so much history. He was always one of these guys who was at the right place at the right time in blues history.
Oh yeah.
Between Sonny Boy Williamson, taking him under his wing when he was a teenager, and then moving up to Memphis and recording at Sun Studios, and then joining Muddy Waters in 1956, I think it was, and staying with Muddy for 12 years, and then starting that first band that he had with Luther Tucker and Alberto Gianquinte and Francis Clay and Bob Anderson. I mean, he just had nothing but great bands the whole time.
Yeah, he always kept a good band on the road.
Yeah.
Always.
And the thing I really like about what you guys were telling me was just how he looked after his bands.
Yeah.
And I love the story you had about that when he would be on stage, he would always thank each one of you guys personally. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it's so rare in this business to come across band leaders that really,
especially nowadays.
Nowadays in particular, yeah, they don't realize that it's the sum of the whole that makes up a great band.
Yeah, and that was, I think, one of the things that James always kept a good band because he was a sideman first. So he knew how it was for all of us.
Right.
Right.
Right. Never on stage, if we made a mistake, would James ever turn around or look at us or stop. Now, maybe if it's something funny, he may turn around and laugh. He'll turn around and laugh at you or laugh with you.
Yeah.
But never would he,
yell at you
or bring it out to the crowd that you made a mistake. If we made a mistake, the crowd would never know. We would know.
Right.
But the crowd would never know.
That's a beautiful thing. And you were pretty much his band leader, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and before Killer Ray Allison brought me in, he was the band leader then.
Right.
Then after Ray left, he said, I need somebody to take over my band, man. I said, shit, because I didn't want to do that one. But he kind of just pushed it over, so he wanted me to just keep his band tight. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah. Miss him every day, man.
I bet. Yeah. Well, it was wonderful when I met you guys at the Cotton Tribute.
Right.
That you guys were there. This was in Fall River, Massachusetts, about 4 years ago.
Right.
And that, you guys got a chance to be there and kind of show everyone what kind of band James had.
Right. That was a good show.
That was a really great show. And we had Daryl with us, and it was really something.
It's good. We had Jacqueline crying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was good one, man. He could never say Daryl's name all the way. What do you call him?
Dale Lewis.
Dale Lewis. He would
Dale Lewis.
Dale Lewis.
Daryl would be trying to say Daryl.
Just keep it, Daryl.
He'll never get that one, so just leave that alone.
Right.
So Daryl, after that, he didn't bother him about stuff. But he would mess up that name, man.
Yeah. So just describe a little bit what it was like hanging, like driving from town to town with James. I mean, James didn't read or write, but he could get you guys to all the gigs.
Yeah, he pretty much knew his way around.
Yeah.
He just couldn't read a lot of signs like that. I was teaching him how to read through the airport, how to get to his dates.
Yeah.
But he couldn't read like that, He hardly could ever, count his money. That was like the second artist I've been with that couldn't really count money like that. I heard that
Interesting.
from Albert King. He couldn't count money either. So pretty much I had to take care of a lot of stuff on the road for him.
Right.
Make sure he didn't get, he had me go to promoter or the club on to get the money.
Right.
Make sure he didn't, get cheated.
Yeah.
So, it was really, really hard, hard for him. But, he got it after a while.
Yeah.
Just, you take him up to so much money, but he could count, but it was just so, if he gets a lot,
Right.
he couldn't,
Right.
Yeah. But I pretty much took care of a lot of stuff. That's why I was glad when Jacqueline came on the road. I was lighting that load up, But,
And you guys were in there with Tom Heimdall, right?
Oh, yeah.
Time out. Yeah, he came on the road. Because he used to be a keyboard player.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would sit in sometimes on keyboards
Right.
on some of those gigs. Yeah.
He started driving. Yeah, because he came. Was he driving? Yeah, he started driving when I came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wasn't on keyboard anymore. So
Right.
because he was living with Cotton.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
He was
that.
staying in Cotton's basement.
Yeah. Wow. Was that was in Austin or was
No,
it
in Chicago.
in Chicago?
Outside
Okay.
of Chicago.
The story Tom told me was he got hired to play keyboards. They did one road trip,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody in the band said, "Fire that keyboard player."
Yeah.
And James liked him, saw something in him, and the next road trip they went out, he wasn't playing keyboards. He was the driver.
And the road manager.
Yeah.
He took care of a lot. He took care of Cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
I don't think he
He had a big job to do, didn't he?
Yes.
Woo, man.
That's the
Cotton-
understatement of the year.
Yeah, Cotton was pretty much of a wild man.
He
When,
was wild.
once
Oh,
he
yeah.
started drinking
Oh, yeah.
and smoking and all that, it was like,
Yeah.
look out. Yeah. It was a bit much, I think, for old Tom.
Well, he loved Tom like he was his own kid.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, he lived in Cotton's basement at least 6 years. It was a long time.
Yeah, wow.
Plus he took care of, Cotton's wife got sick, with cancer, and he took care of her.
That was in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was around the family a lot.
Yeah. So when you started with him, he was still living in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
115, I want to say.
Yeah.
115 over there.
In Hale, right?
Hell, yeah.
Mike Smith lived right down the street.
Yeah, they live down the street with each other.
Right.
That's where we all met up, getting out of town. Because his son was out driving for a minute.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Bo died.
And he died
He
too.
got in
Yeah.
the Cotton.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think of what I can ask you guys about James. Well, I mean, how much did he tell stories and stuff in the band?
Well, he always he was a thinker, man.
Yeah,
He was like when he was on the road, I used to sit up, when I did sit up front, I was like, man, what do you be thinking about, man? Going up down this road, he's like, all the time I've been up on this road and all my buddies, he'd be thinking about, all his buddies he lost.
Right.
Yeah, he told me that too.
Yeah. It was just, he was just thinking a lot. I guess he'd been out here many years and
Yeah.
Muddy and all of them. He was really tight with Otis Spann.
I knew he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to live in Muddy's basement.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was tight with Otis Spann. He said that really hurt him.
I bet. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that he always would get keyboard players who could really play like Otis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dave Maxwell or Alberto.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Jim
He
Quartet,
loved Dave, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Dave got with us, where you get this hippie from? So, I knew Dave from Freddie King's band.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
so he was a great player.
Great keyboard
Oh,
player.
yeah.
He's on one of my records.
Yeah, I love David, man.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Till he get that lick in him.
That seems to be a constant theme in all blues. Once you get the liquor, it's like it's all over.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But he was a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Good guy.
He went through
That's the tools of a blues man.
Yeah, it is.
Is that liquor? Oh man, when I quit drinking, I didn't think you could play blues. I just thought, no, it's not going to come out right.
Yeah, man.
God, it's hard to believe all these guys are gone too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Really
like I said,
crazy.
that's what he thought about all the time.
Very strange, yeah.
Especially, when Muddy left, that hurt him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was how it was, man.
Mojo?
Yeah, Mojo, he was crazy about Mojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, when all of the guys, started dying, this last,
The last 15 years.
last
yeah.
15 years or so, a lot of times somebody would die and we'd be out on the road and James would kind of just giggle a little bit, meet another one.
Yeah.
And then, but once when Hubert died
Right.
and Pine Top,
him and Hubert
and
were really.
they all
really-
died within 6 months of each other.
Right. And Willie.
And Willie, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When those three died,
Yeah.
that was
He didn't really think he would make it that long.
no, and
James thought he would probably die about 20 years ago.
Man, I never
James
would have.
used to
He
tell
used
me
to talk
that
about
all
that.
the time.
If you would have laid odds that James Cotton would have outlived all these.
Well, that was why he would always,
Yeah.
hey James, did you hear so and so that? Well, meet another one.
Yeah.
And it was like he was like, I didn't think I'd make it this long.
No.
He didn't she took care of him.
Yeah.
I have to give her that praise.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He wouldn't have been around.
No.
Right. I remember one time going to pay him at the end of the night and he had his shirt off and it was like all the bullet holes.
Oh yeah.
It was like, that was one of those things you don't see that very often.
No.
You know what I mean?
I used to tell him, look like the surgeon blade crisscross with your
Look like what?
Look like the surgeon blade crisscross with your chest. Shut up, Louise. Yeah, he wants you to get the best with it with a joke. If you got a good joke in, you better watch it. He was coming back with a good one.
That's right.
You could have beat him on that one.
Yeah. But I mean, that's one thing. The thing that really always struck me about Cotton was just when I first met him. I was 15.
Wow.
I met him at the Ashgrove in LA.
Wow.
And it was the very first time I saw that band with Matt Murphy, Charles Talmies,
That was a
and
band.
Kenny Johnson, and Lil Bo.
Yeah.
And what did I say, Matt? Yeah, Matt.
You know,
Matt.
Lil Bo just died.
Did he really?
Yeah, he just died.
Wow.
3 months ago.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, when I saw that band, it was like,
That was a hot
blew me
band.
out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I met James, you know, on the break. I was just a punk kid, and I walked up and shook his hand, and I go, man, you're one of my favorite harp players. And I go, what's your favorite album? And he goes, I like all of them. And I go, not me, I like those first two. You know? And he just laughed, you know, it was just his whole attitude. It was just, you know, he just had this great thing about, especially young people.
Yeah.
I think he had a real thing about young people that were into blues. You know, it was like,
Oh yeah.
and that's why it's so cool that whenever he would, you know, like meet a young harp player like Kyle or who was the kid, Josh, you know, that he was just so, you know, he was so accepting of, and so encouraging of young people that were playing blues. And I think it was because of Sonny Boy,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
when he was a youngster and went up to Sonny Boy.
It was a DJ, and I can't think of his name. He just passed to a band in Helena. You know what I'm talking
Oh, Sonny Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonny used to tell me stories about James outside of looking in the window at the radio station, throwing rocks and stuff with these little boys.
Wow.
I didn't think his little boy was going to be the James Cotton he is, you know.
That is something.
And he was telling the story, and I was like, wow, man, he knew a lot about James.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah.